It's been a hot minute since I last made a video about rose fragrances. If you know me, if you are one of my OG subscribers, you know that rose is my favorite fragrance note ever. I tend to gravitate towards rose fragrances. Nowadays, you guys, you get a lot of really groundbreaking and innovative rose fragrances that really broke ground, in perfumery. And I will talk about a few of them in this video. I want to share with you all of my favorite rose fragrances from my collection of nearly 700 fragrances back there. And I hope you're excited for this video because I am. I love roses and I love rose fragrances. So let's jump right in. Hi my lovely people, welcome back to another fabulous fragrance video. And this video is extra fabulous because we're going to talk about one of the most romantic, feminine, sexy, beautiful fragrance note of all time. Rose. That's right. Rose note can really jazz up or bring alive a fragrance, you guys. And I don't think I've ever smelled a fragrance note that invokes so many different feelings inside of me. They make me feel confident, sexy, attractive, beautiful, feel romantic, and feel loved when I wear rose fragrances. I don't know how to explain it. There's just something about the note of rose and rose fragrances that just really does it for me. And I obviously over the years have collected quite a few rose fragrances, and out of all of them, these are the ones that I'm most fond of. And of course, I have on my list a bunch more on my wish list that I'm going to add to my collection. And in the upcoming couple of fragrance hauls, you will notice some more for rose fragrances, but I thought I would make a video about the ones I have so far. So I don't know if I want to be cliche and start with my number one fragrance in my entire collection, which happens to be a rose fragrance, or if I should do it in the reverse order. Maybe I'll just start with my best of the best. This, as you guys know, if you know me at all, if you watched any of my videos, you know that this fragrance right here is number one in my collection out of nearly 700 fragrances. How do I say such a thing when I have so many fragrances? Well, very easily, because this is me in a bottle. Okay, that's how I feel about it. It is beautiful, romantic, sexy, attractive, confident, all rolled into one. This fragrance makes me feel that way. Okay? Oh my goodness. There's nothing more bewitching than this fragrance. This, as you guys know, did I tell you what this is? Killian Ros Oud, and no, not the first edition. I know there was a Killian Ros Oud some years ago, but this is not the same one. I think it's just the name that's common. This is a new formula, from what I hear. This has lychee, rose, cypress oil, and leather. Need I say more? That lychee adds this lychee is a very unique fruity note, as you guys know. Has a very syrupy, beautiful, very unique fruity smell to it. And lychee always pairs so well with the note rose. Always. And if you notice, there are so many rose fragrances out there where you will see that lychee rose combination. It's very prevalent. For example, Parfums de Harley, Delina, lychee, rose combination, you get there as well. So as you see, there are tons of perfumes out there. Somehow lychee is a fruity note that really complements the rose note. Okay, so there is lychee here, rose together. It's like that beautiful fruity rose. And then to it, when you add that cypress oil or nargamotha, it's this very sultry herbal note that adds this deep, sultry sillage type of vibe to fragrances. So that's what makes it really sexy. And leather just puts it over the top. Leather makes it luxurious, even more sexy. I don't know, adds that sort of expensive kind of smell to fragrances. So this is my #1 fragrance in my entire collection. I just adore this perfume so much. I recommended this to you guys, like I've been recommending it ever since I bought it. I got it from Sephora if I remember correctly, and I have 2 backups already, like refills, because you can get refills from Killian. This one I'm going to call my Sultry Rose. Everybody who heard me recommend this in a million videos went and bought it. Not one person came back to me and told me that they didn't like it. They said, you were absolutely right. This is gorgeous. Okay. I don't think I have a discount code for that, but I do know that it is now available for better prices on some of the sites. I'll try to find that for you guys and link down below. And then I have here my rose water type of rose. This smells like rose water, but only better. 1,000 times better, okay? This is Alchemia by Royal Crown Fragrances. I love their bottles so much. Word of caution, this little thing on the top, if you as much as tip it over, it'll break. It's like hanging by a thread there. It's not a very good, you know, design really. Right here will break off easily. So if you have Royal Crown bottles, be careful with them. Oh my God, this is a very light rosewater smelling, almost kind of watery. I mean, I love the juice color because it kind of represents what this smells like. To me, it's a very oriental smelling rose, but very light. There is a very special rose in here. The type of rose that's in here is Taif Rose. Now, Taif Rose has this very kind of oriental vibe about it and really mixes well with oud, which this has. Very crisp, clean oud, not your barnyard oud. Very crisp, clean, airy. This has several types of rose, actually, not just Taif Rose, but that's the one that's very prominent. This also has Bulgarian rose and a bunch of other floral notes, but it's the rose that is the star of the show, with a little lacing of honey that makes it slightly sweet. But the sensualness from the woody notes, the oud, the sandalwood, really does something to it. The thing that makes this almost, not oceanic vibes, but like watery kind of, ocean water kind of vibe. Not ocean vibe as in salty vibe, like it makes it smell kind of watery because of the ambergris note that's in here. You know, ambergris is from the gut of the sperm whale that has like a bit of a watery marine vibe and with like a woody nuance to it. So it's kind of like this oriental, light, watery rose essence smelling rose with a hint of oud. Oh, I just adore this one so much. So beautiful, guys. Beautiful. Now, next one I'm going to call my green rose. This beautiful thing is absolutely gorgeous. This is from Jouve Parfum, Joyeux Unique Sensorial Fragrance House. They have very funky bottles, which I really appreciate. And this one is your very green rose. Oh, this one is like a stroll through a freshly watered rose garden, okay? This has got a very greenish rose. So it's like smelling a real rose with some greenness in the background. There's a bit of a juicy kind of like fresh vibe in here from the cassis. I think the cassis can mean blackcurrant too, the actual blackcurrant fruit. But I think I get a little leafy vibe, maybe the leaf of the blackcurrant. In here maybe is what's giving this green, fresh kind of airy greenness to it. This is a through and through rose fragrance because this has some of the most expensive rose notes in here. Rose centifolia, as you guys, Rose centifolia is super expensive. It is harvested only 1 month out of the entire year. And there's Rose Damascena, another expensive rose note. There's Rose Damascena Infusion and Rose Damascena Absolute in here, which is very concentrated and potent. So it's a through and through beautiful green rose that is super romantic, you guys. I absolutely love it. I can tell you this much. For Valentine's Day this year, I'm going to wear a rose fragrance, and that's a contender, okay? I feel like either a rose or cherry fragrance. I haven't decided yet. So, yeah, that's how I plan my fragrances, you guys, like months ahead, like a dork. I know. Fragrance geek. Fraghead, obviously. And here's another, speaking of green roses, here's another beautiful green rose that is a more recent addition to my collection. This is Rose Blush by Jo Malone. I am not a huge fan of Jo Malone fragrances only because the compositions are beautiful, that they're colognes. It's like the lowest concentration of perfume oils. To me, paying that kind of money for the lowest concentration of oil is kind of ridiculous, but there are some of their compositions like this one, and of course their intense versions that come in black bottles that are really good. So I have to admit that some of them are worth it even with that factor, you know. Oh, this is like May Bloom in Rose, okay, on a fresh day, bright sunny day. Again, it's a very kind of greenish, beautiful, almost watery rose. That's so pretty. This has a lot of green notes, including basil. It has actually lychee, actually also. Again, lychee really complements rose fragrances. This has, I think, rose and geranium both. I'm not sure. Which, again, geranium is a note that almost go hand in hand with rose all the time. You will see that in compositions a lot. To me, is a daytime type of rose for spring and summer, and it's very romantic. It's like taking a stroll in a rose garden with your loved ones or husband or fiance, boyfriend, whoever, and you're holding a bunch of like roses, and it's a beautiful sunny day, and you're getting whiff of like this green rose from the rose garden. Absolutely gorgeous. This is a compliment getter, and Rosamunda is a compliment getter. Rose Oud is a huge compliment getter because this has a sillage for days. It lasts forever. Okay, did I tell you that? Wow. Bang for your buck. Don't ever overspray it. 1, 2, that's it. If you really feel fancy and really want to be smelled, 1, 2, 3, 4, forget it. No more than that, okay? Because it's strong. But not in an offensive way, but in a very permeating sillage. You know, have you seen those like cartoons where, you know, like Mickey Mouse or somebody, like one of the cartoon characters smells something, you know, a pie or something, and then there's this like trail of like smell, and then you're following, and that's kind of like the sillage, the leaves. I don't know if I'm making any sense. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So gorgeous. These rose fragrances make me feel like a queen, really. And here's the Queen of Queens right here. This is my decant bottle of the big one. I'm not going to pull that out. This is, I'm going to call, so I called these two my green roses, right? Now I'm going to call this one my chocolate rose. Okay, this is my Gormand rose. This one is the most groundbreaking fragrance in the history. You guys, I'm telling you, this is one of my top 5 fragrances in the entire world. This is Gormand Coquin, but because this is discontinued, I'm going to show this one and its replacement side by side, which is this Fève Gourmand. They're not the same. I'm not going to get into my rant about that, but they're different, but they share a lot of notes. So if you can't get a hold of this, then I recommend this. But these are this chocolate rose mix. It's a very gourmand, almost like delicious smelling rose, but it's still perfumey. Doesn't smell like food at all. It keeps making me think of Versailles or French royalty. Although they stunk, they didn't bathe, as we know. But if they were to smell good, and if anybody to wear this as a signature perfume, it would be Marie Antoinette. I don't know, I keep thinking of her when I smell this fragrance, and I can hear the music playing in Versailles. I'm in, you know, King Louis XIV court. I'm one of those courtiers that the king has the eyes on. Now, Marie Antoinette was King Louis the XVI's wife, but I keep thinking of her and Versailles, and I'm thinking about King Louis the XVI or King Louis the XIV's court. I don't know. It's just what my mind, where my mind goes. Absolutely gorgeous fragrance. This has cacao and chocolate, and it has that beautiful rose and a bunch of really sexy notes. You guys, I can't get enough of this. I've already gotten a big bottle of Gormand Coquin, a backup and another backup. Yes, and it was really hard to hunt down because it's discontinued. Now, Fair Gormand is the replacement. Like I said, it smells similar, but does it in any way smell exactly like that? No, but does it smell amazing? Yes, and a great consolation price for sure. For the discontinued fragrance, they smell very kind of similar. Again, also kind of gives me Marie Antoinette vibes. So that's my chocolate or Gourmand rose, okay? Then I have another Gourmand rose. I would call this my jammy rose, okay? You guys know this one's very popular. Actually, let me grab the new version. Oud Bouquet by Lancome, you guys. I prefer this. Again, these two are not the same. I also made a video about it. This original one got discontinued and they replaced it with this new version. There's something smoother about this one and more attractive and jammier about this one and more rosy about this one. This smells exactly like if there were to be anything that is a rose jam. Jam made out of something fruity, but there's rose in it, like a rose jam. That's what this smells like. This has oud, obviously a beautiful oud, not your barnyard oud, with this, you know, I think praline and a bunch of really sweet gourmand notes and that beautiful rose. Absolutely stunning fragrance, huge compliment getter. Cuts through cold winter weather or even fall. I tend to wear this fall and winter. I've like used it down to here. This is the one I keep grabbing for, so that's why this hasn't been used as much. One day when I run out of this, although I don't want to run out of this because I paid a pretty penny to get a hold of the old version. So gorgeous. This was one of those groundbreaking fragrances, groundbreaking rose fragrances, because there hadn't been, by the time this came out, there was no Gourmand rose that stood out, or definitely not a jammy rose, right? Oh, absolutely gorgeous. That's something I wear on date night, that sort of occasion. Again, sexy jammy rose, you know, it's not something you wear to work. It's an evening fragrance in my opinion. The Oud Bouquet, did I say the name? Lancome Oud Bouquet. Old version and new version. As I'm looking down at the table, I don't have many discounts for some of these. But for whatever I do have discount codes, I'll link down below. Oh, I forgot. I actually have a discount code for Dewy Parfum. It is Cleo 10 also, I think. Or is it Cleo 25? I have two, I think, with them. I can't remember, guys. I'll put it down below in the description box, okay? Always check the description box. Now, here's my vampy, baddie, villain rose right here. Ooh, this one's a dark rose. I'm going to call this one my dark rose. This is Maison Francis Kurkdjian Oud Satin Mood, of course. This is that black magic woman, you know, voodoo woman, baddie, the sexy villain lady from the movies. This is that very, very sort of black widow type of sultry rose. This is a very deep oud with rose, but there's a very delicate violet in here that saves this from being too oudy. You know, that delicate violet is only a beautiful compliment. I believe there's something sweet in here, a little bit of vanilla maybe, but this one's my vampy rose, okay, my dark rose right here. Maison Francis Kurkdjian Oud Satin Mood. I have to be in the mood to wear it. It calls for a specific occasion where I want to give out that baddie vibe. And then I have a beautiful leather rose right here. I call this my leather rose. This is Siberian Rose by Fragrance du Bois. This one, you guys, has this beautiful kind of white rose that is drenched or wrapped in this leather, this sexy leather note. Okay, I don't care what else is in this fragrance because that's what stands out. This one smells super fashionable and commands attention. Very confident smelling. Beautiful rose. Very, very, very beautiful rose. This is a evening out type of fragrance. Not something you want to wear daytime. It projects really well, lasts for a long time. So date night, evening out, it has to be for special type of occasion, that one. Whew, mwah, so good. Then I have my fluffy Marshmallow Rose right here. I didn't pick the original, I picked the flanker because the flanker has more rose than the original. Original is more of a not just rose, but also orange blossom, rose and marshmallow fragrance and honeysuckle. Whereas this one is the extreme version, which has a more intensified rose note with that prominent marshmallow. So this is my fluffy, girly, sweet rose. This is, of course, Killian Love Don't Be Shy Extreme. So like I said, this has that beautiful rose drenched in marshmallow cream, okay? Marshmallow fluff. And it smells deep and sweet, but also a little bit more grown up than the original Love Don't Be Shy because there's more rose in it, more romantic. This is a very Valentine's Day appropriate type of fragrance. In fact, I wore it a couple years ago on Valentine's date night. Huge compliment getter. If you're unsure of what to wear, but you really want to kill it, you really want to get the type of attention that you want. First date, third date, any kind of date, that's important type of fragrance. Then I have my Musky Rose right here. This is my very musky rose. Am I the only person who gets irritated by these Montal pins? I mean, do you have any idea? I have like 5 or 6 Montals, and this and one other. We are the only ones that have the pins left or the cap left because it keeps falling out and kicking this off. Oh, it's so annoying. Bad design. Now this one I'm gonna have to spray because you can't smell it out of the atomizer. Oh, this is your Arabian Princess, Oriental, musky, beautiful, sexy in a very Oriental way, rose. This has a big dose of rose and a big dose of musk, obviously. I want to say maybe there's a little wood that's hiding somewhere that you can't even smell very strongly, but this has definitely got a ton of musk. Has a bit of sweetness to it too, but not too much. Then I have my delicate, watery, morning dew rose. This smells like rose with a little morning dew in the morning. My English rose, my Elizabethan rose, right here. This is Elizabethan Rose by Penhaligon's. This is a very tea party, garden party type of fragrance. I mean, in fact, I wore this several times for tea parties that we've had. And it's the perfect fragrance. This is a great one for like church or, you know, garden parties or daytime events during spring and summer. This actually has a hazelnut note that you'd never assume this has because you can't smell that nuttiness very much. What you smell though is that very dewy rose, very dewy, beautiful rose. Then of course we have the very famous triplets, the famous 3, I should say, of all rose fragrances right here, the Delinas. Okay, this is Perfumes de Delina fragrances. Of course we have the Delina, the original. Which one is it? This is the original Delina. Then we have Perfumes de Delina exclusive. Then we have the Delina La Rosée right here. So I don't want to pick all of them, but if I were to pick one, I have since changed my mind as to which one of the 3 I like the most. I used to love Delina Exclusive the most, But if you ask me today what I love the most, it would be La Rose right here. This is a very beautiful watery rose as well. But watery doesn't necessarily mean this is weak. This is actually quite strong, as in permeating. Not beast mode, which implies offensive, punch you in the face, but permeates, kind of like leaves that sillage, you know? This is that beautiful Turkish rose type of fragrance, as we know. I'm gonna actually spray this one because I'm unable to smell it for some reason from the atomizer. Oh, she is so pretty. You know, the original Delina had rhubarb with that Turkish rose and the lychee. There again, there it is, lychee rose combination, right? This one also has lychee, that fruitiness from it with that rose, the Turkish rose, which is a very unique type of rose that has a very unique smell. That's similar to kind of the Bulgarian and the Taif rose, actually. A little more closer to those two types of roses. And here actually Rose Centifolia smells like it a little bit too. Anyway, it's very watery, light rose, yet strong in the sense lasts, projects and permeates and leaves a sillage. This would be today, if you ask me, my favorite Delina, favorite rose out of these three. I mean, if you want me to include these three too in this video, I can. Well, the original Delina is the original sort of sour, fruity rose, which had the rhubarb, the lychee, with the fruitiness with the Turkish rose. Also, all three of them share the Turkish rose note and the lychee, I think all three of them. This is kind of a sour or sort of a tart rose, I should say. This is a tart rose. Oh, beautiful. But still, La Rose is my favorite now. And then we have the bit of smoky rose here with the Delina exclusive, which has an added incense note, but no rhubarb. But again, with the lychee and the rose, which is the common two notes throughout the three. Oh, the incense kind of adds a bit of kind of powdery, incensey vibe to it. This is not your frankincense type of incense, but rather a sweet incense that goes with floral notes. So beautiful, very feminine. I would say exclusive is for fall and winter. Delina is for spring and La Rose is for summer. That's how I kind of like look at them. All three of them forever lasting, very projecting and amazing fragrances. Very romantic. That's the category they fall under. Very feminine, girly, woman-like, date night. You want to be attractive like a woman type fragrance, you know? Now we have a very light, sophisticated minty rose right here. There's no mint note in it, but I'll tell you what I mean when I say minty rose. This is a very fresh rose in a very minty kind of fresh way, kind of almost slightly, no, I don't want to say cologne-ish, but fresh spice kind of way that has a bit of hint of mint kind of way, but it doesn't necessarily have mint in it. This is Fragrance de Bois Oud Rose en Tons. This one is that very minty, fresh, spicy rose, which probably has notes like, whether it's revealed or not, I feel like I'm picturing juniper in here. That sort of fresh spice, kind of coniferous fresh. It could even be a fir note. Yeah, I don't know. It gives me a bit of like fresh cologne vibes, but not with a masculine twist at all, but rather a feminine twist, but very, very luxurious fragrance. It has a very luxurious vibe. It has obviously rose and a very crisp, clean oud, because Fragrance du Bois has their own proprietary oud that smells super clean and fresh. Nothing barnyard about it, nothing oriental about it, actually. Not that it's bad to be oriental, but rather it's cleaner and crisper. Okay, that's what I mean. Beautiful. Beautiful, crisp, clean, luxurious rose fragrance. But the rose isn't all that prominent. Although I'm putting this in the rose video, it's a very fresh, clean rose, but the rose part isn't intense enough. In my opinion, honestly, this would have been, I love this, but it would have been even better if the rose was a little bit more intensified, you know? Oh, beautiful, but it's still one of my favorite fragrances. Then I have my spicy rose. This is La Perla Possibilities. You guys, this one is the spicy, spunky rose. This has rose and rose water. It has a blackcurrant note, which is very juicy. Some other like pink berry type notes. This has freesia too, which adds a fresh kind of vibe to it. Has orange blossom, which definitely gives that citrus floral vibe. This has akigala wood, which is a kind of a, it's not oud, but oud-like strong woody note, which has a bit of a peppery kick, okay? But not like really badly, like strongly peppery, but you know, a bit of spiciness. Has some ambergris, which adds like a bit of that, I don't want to say oceanic, but like, what's that vibe I mean when I say it? Like, yeah, it gives like a watery kind of oceanic vibe to it with a woody base. Spicy rose, sexy rose, very like powerful woman kind of fragrance, you know? Beautiful, sexy, again, baddie vibes a little bit. Okay, so I have two of my favorite rose fragrances from this amazing fragrance house right here. So I'll talk about them one at a time. So of course, Hibiscus Maad is a perfume that's in my top 5. It's one of my top 5 fragrances. It smells amazing. Although the name is Hibiscus Maad, it actually, this smells like hibiscus nectar. Like if you were to get the nectar out of a hibiscus flower, that's that sweet nectar scent that you get. Oh, if you take that and multiply by 1,000,000, that's this scent right here. This is that perfume that lasts forever, projects so well, yet not offensive. Such a pleasing, gorgeous scent that everybody loves it. And this is a huge compliment getter. This is that rose. So how you get that hibiscus scent? I don't think there's hibiscus in here. Although I think Fragrantica lists hibiscus, you know, for this composition. That's misleading information. I don't think there's a hibiscus note. Even if there was, it's not in here. The hibiscus nectar scent they got by mixing rose, I think it's centifolia, rose centifolia with spearmint and a bucket of vanilla, like huge amount of vanilla without it being overly sweet. And there's that gorgeous leather in here, you guys, that makes it super sophisticated, luxurious. That leather really is, I mean, you can't tell it's leather. It doesn't smell like leather in there. If you're gonna imagine immediately like one of those perfumes with like really like new car seat, no. This smells like a sexy, gorgeous hibiscus nectar dipped in sweet vanilla. Oh my gosh. And then that leather in the background, it just gives that luxurious, expensive smell. And this fragrance house, by the way, did I tell you where this is from? This is from Maison Crivelli, one of my top favorite fragrance houses, because they source their ingredients there. The notes, fragrance notes, the ingredients, they are the Orpor level. Like it's like the top level quality, this fragrance house. And oh my gosh, wow. I mean, this is one of my most adored fragrances. Put a pretty nice dent into it, as you can see. Typically like to wear this starting in spring, although I don't like to wear this in the middle of summer because it's hot, and this is like a really nice permeating fragrance. You can wear it all year round if you want to, but if you wear it in the summer, wear it at nighttime when it's a little cooler. It's actually appropriate for even right now, but I just prefer, because it's hibiscus kind of scent evoking fragrance, I like to start in spring when it's really cool, but kind of, you know, flowers blooming everywhere. Oh my gosh, one of the best rose fragrances ever. And from the same fragrance house, I have Rose Centifolia, or Saltifolia, I should say. So it's actually really clever, the name, because this is a very marine, light, I wouldn't say salty, but like a marine oceanic rose. Oh my gosh, this is so sexy. So it's kind of like that sun-kissed, salty, sexy skin with rose. You know, like if I was lying on a beach and I'm like that sun-kissed goddess with the wind in my hair and I'm like bathing in rose water or something, like, you know what I mean? My husband loves fragrances like this with that oceanic, marine, salty vibes in the background, because it invokes that sexy, salty sunbathe, tanning skin kind of vibes. This doesn't smell like tanning lotion, by the way. I mean, don't let your mind go there. It smells rather like sexy, salty, sea breeze sort of thing with rose in the air, like, if you will. Okay, imagine a rose garden by the sea, okay? This is so gorgeous. There's a bunch of more notes in here. I'm not going to bore you with everything, but there's, I think, like salt or marine notes in here. I'm definitely sure there's ambergris in here, whether it's listed in the fragrance composition or not, because, you know, ambergris comes from the sperm whale's stomach, so it invokes that sea vibes, you know. Whew, whew. My husband adores this. By the way, you guys, there is a special thing that I've listed down in the description box. I really can't talk about it very much. Just check the description box. Trust me. This one you will not find in discount stores, discount websites. You will not. Okay? You're not going to get discounts for this. But I just want you to check the description box. Okay, there's something special I've mentioned about it down there. All right, and then I have a very affordable niche fragrance house right here. This is Perfumer. This was actually sent to me in PR, I believe, and this is called 106. Their fragrances are numbered by, I don't know their numbers. Okay, so this one is a Rose Damascena fragrance, you guys. This has Rose Damascena and it has Davana. Davana is this sexy sort of sultry. I already talked about Davana. I know I've talked about cypress oil. They're very similar. Davana is this very sexy herbal note that really adds the sultry vibe to fragrances. And there's Davana in here. It's absolutely gorgeous and has a good dose of vanilla that gives a beautiful sweetness to this fragrance. Oh my gosh. It is very beautiful. It's another good one. It's very affordable, this niche fragrance house. I believe this is like $60 as opposed to like most of them I'm talking about here. Like the niche ones, they're like in the 200s or 300s or even at least past $100. Very, very affordable, but really good fragrance. So you guys, lastly, I want to talk about this beauty. It's still on the way. So if you missed my video testing a bunch of super hyped fragrances, if you missed that video, check it out where I explored a bunch of fragrances using samples to decide what I was going to buy next. So in that video, I talked about Carmina by Creed, which was really popular like last year. It went kind of viral. People were like hooing and hawing about this. So I talked about this and I said that this was one I had to get my hands immediately. This is a gorgeous rose fragrance. Oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. Oh man, it makes my eyes go crossed. Just oozing, sexy, oozing feminine fragrance, rose fragrance ever. This has a black cherry note with that gorgeous, gorgeous rose de mai. There's the May rose basically. It's one of the most gorgeous rose notes ever. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. There's a little bit of violet, little peony, I think. There's some other beautiful, they're feminine florals in here, but it's that rose de mai that is the queen in here. And it has like amber or amberette that gives it a really sexy, you know, like that amberette vibes. Like, you know, amberette is muskmallow. Oh, so good. Musk is another one that's really prominent in here. It's very sexy, you know. Oh, it's that rose de mai that is, oh wow, with that black cherry. Oh wow. So it's on the way. I ordered it. It's coming. You will see it in, most likely in my next perfume haul. Yeah, so this is definitely up there in my rose universe. Okay, I adore that one. What do you guys think? Do you like my rose fragrances? Yeah, these are my favorites from my collection. Do you guys have really beautiful rose fragrances that I really should be trying that I haven't yet? Let me know down in the comment section. Did you enjoy this video? If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Really helps me grow this channel. And of course, don't forget to click the notification bell, because even if you are subscribed, if you don't click the notification bell, YouTube won't let you know that I uploaded a video. You will miss many videos that way, which many of you complain about. So please click the notification bell, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and other social media. And don't forget to hop on over to my luxury makeup and beauty channel, Cleo Luxe Life. And of course, if you missed my Louis Vuitton Takashi Murakami rare bag unboxing, check it out on this channel or that channel. I will see you guys in my next video.